Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder. I made it back just in time from the Emirates. Just in time. Ah, what an afternoon. Yeah, welcome back to the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. I've got two guests. One's been here before. Actually, both of them have been here before. But the person's making their debut on the Easy Talk. Yes. We're waiting for Tim Hogan, but I think he's got some problems with his microphone. But he'll join us as of when he's ready. But you know what? I'll get into the intros on the other side of this music intro. Made it here just in time. Yes. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yeah, my goodness. Yeah, what an afternoon. Been so busy. And I've got to say, actually, for the last 3-4 weeks, I've been getting up like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. just to kind of concentrate on my projects. I've got lots of projects. I need to speak to Jonathan about my projects. So many projects. But anyway, into the introductions. Jonathan, how are you doing, my friends?
Fine. Thank you for the invitation. Always is a pleasure. As I mentioned, you taking a lot of attention to the protest in London. So waiting what will happen. It's a crazy 2 weeks. Has been a crazy 2 weeks. So
hi Alex.
Let's see.
See what happens. And the newbie on the Easy Talk, Glenwyn, what's happening, man? There's some lag.
Hey, what up, Gunners? Yeah, thanks again. It is an honor, Alex, to be invited to your Easy Talk, which is probably a premier show. It is an elite show. Not anybody can come on to the Easy Talk. So yeah, thanks. It's an honor, man.
I'll tell you what, Glenn, many have tried. I only select, the cream of the crop. Only the best of the best can come on the Easy Talk. No, not anybody, no stranger. It's like the cream of the crop. Tim, how are you, my friend? I think you are on mute, Tim. You're on mute. I can't take you off. You're
still on mute.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, you can see his mic is on mute.
Yeah. There's nothing I can do, Tim. You need to do it from your end.
Now,
well, you know, there we go.
Yeah.
I think I'm really not headphone compatible, to be honest about it. I think, and I have to apologize. I was on Amy Lawrence's. I'm not a really big social media person, but the pictures from the Emirates and the videos and all that were mind blowing.
So, yes, absolutely. So, Tim, you don't know Glenwyn, Tim, you know Jonathan, I think. Well,
how's it? Give me a 5.
How are you,
this way.
How are you, Jonathan?
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Nice to meet you.
All right.
All right, guys. Before we start this one, I want to show you guys something.
Yeah. Well, the best sign I saw at the protest was Kroenke out, Gunnosaurus in. So it was very, very entertaining.
Oh, dearie me. Jonathan, can you please tell me, how did Arsenal get involved with this European Super League thing? How did we get involved in that? And after a little bit of a resistance, a small demonstration from the Chelsea fans, the European announcement has now it's collapsed. How did we get involved in that, Jonathan?
Okay. So let me speak as a devil's advocate. Is in English? En español es abogado del diablo. What happened with this? This is business. It's entertainment business. Our team is our team, and the passionate for the team are the fans. We would like to have a owner that is a fan. Really, well, everybody wants to have an owner that is a fan of the club, because when you are a fan of the club, you will do what you consider the best, and the best is always win. But the problem here is that Arsenal is not a club of the fans. It's a club of an owner that need to do business entertainment. If you ask me as a business person, I prefer. I have a trouble because I prefer a club that is self-sustainable. Self-sustainability is the name in English. So
Self-sustaining.
self-sustaining.
Self-sustaining. Yeah.
And also, in the best word, I prefer that is self-sustaining with a owner that is a fan. But we are not in a perfect world, right? So in this case, the option is to have a club that is self-sustaining, or the other option is to have a club that the owner is a billionaire that want to spend money when he wants, but maybe when he breaks, what will happen with the club? Because if you see the example of Monaco in France, Monaco, the owner have a breakup with the wife, something like that. They divorced, and he lost like the half of the fortune. And Monaco almost go to the B with Henry as a coach. So this is complicated, because a businessman found that there is a possibility to fight against FIFA or UEFA, and to show to the world that 12 clubs are enough powerful to say to the biggest powerful FIFA, hey, stop, we can do it. I think the idea of their idea was not to do the Super League. Their idea was only show the teeth, in order to show them the teeth and tell them, hey, give me more money, because I'm giving you a lot and you are staying with a lot of money. This is like the business goes in this moment in the world. And I think they showed the teeth, and I think it worked, because they will pay the finance, or they will fight in legal matters for the finance, for the fine is the name. So I think it worked, but we don't know in what way it worked. I hope it is a shoot in the foot is the name in Spanish, tiro en los pies, and maybe this will get worse for them than for us, the fans. And you are living it in this moment in London, so I hope it works for something. But bad business, I think.
Just a quick question, Jonathan. So, do you agree with the European Super League, or you disagree completely?
No, I'm not agreed. I'm not agreed
Yeah.
because it's not a competition. It's just a platform in order to show the biggest club with money. If the idea was a competition, first year, these 12 clubs more plus 8 clubs, and then normal competition with promotion and degrees, and that. And maybe could be great. It's a idea. It's just an idea. But I think the idea for them was not to create the Super League. It's just to show teeth and show, hey, you have a monopoly, FIFA, but we are giving you a lot of money. And what is happening with us in the pandemic? I think it was the point.
Okay.
I think.
Tim, this European Super League thing.
Well, firstly, I think, like, to be honest about it, it was never going to work. And by the more you look at it, it seems to be, look, Real Madrid were driving it, followed then closely by Liverpool, Man United, and of course our own friend Stan Kroenke in Arsenal. Like, they were the chair people. Let's say the chairman of Real Madrid. He was going to be the chairman of this European Super League. The four vice chairmen were going to be the Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, and Juventus representatives. So they were kind of driving it on. Now, financially, as we all know, clubs are really in a very bad state. But like AC Milan, Inter Milan, and Barcelona are in a frighteningly bad state. And like, they have reduced the San Siro down, I think, by about 20%. It's gone from about 80,000 down to 60,000. They probably look like the funniest thing I saw in the last number of days was that when the Premier League was initially started off in '92, Joe David Dean and Joe the Taylor report were all into kind of razzmatazz American style sports, Joe getting more family orientated, kind of inviting the middle classes. that one of the floated names at the time was the Super League. But anyway, obviously that was a roaring success. So the Premier League is without a doubt. I know Sky now kind of flog it to death a little, but it is the greatest league in the world. It was a roaring success. If you go back to the now they had a brilliant product. That's the first thing I think I'd want to say here is that if you go back to the before the Premier League, you must remember. Then we all remember. I was talking about Amy Lawrence a minute ago. You must remember back to '89. George Graham left Arsenal with a team, went to Liverpool, went up, had to reconfigure his team to kind of stifle this Liverpool attack. Went out, won a league in the dying minutes. I mean, it was really drama of the highest order. And if you apply that to a safer, more secure, more family-friendly stadiums, that's what you have, Premier League. So I'd say Barcelona, Real Madrid, the two Milan clubs, and of course Juventus, they saw this kind of small, condensed league. And then the big problem is, in the English Premier League, it's oligarchs, sheikhs, billionaires. The day of, I remember as a child, not a child, but in my kind of late teens, watching Milan. We all remember the Arsenal Invincibles. Well, the first Invincibles I remember were the AC Milan Invincibles. And let's say they were based around the three Dutch players, and they came. Now, in a short number of years, about 98 actually, sure, they won the double, Arsenal had kind of the famous French connection. And it was gone from kind of stoic, kind of hard pressed physical football to flair players, Thierry Henry, Pietro Vieira, Emmanuel Petit, and then I often think about, did they do it on purpose? And then the greatest flair player of them all, they put in Dennis Bergkamp. So in other words, this kind of sports entertainment model can be traced back to that. But of course, the big thing was that was a meritocracy. You could go up, you could go down, and Stan Kroenke, Henry, whatever, the Glaziers, they don't understand. Their idea of relegation is that if you're not in the top four, if you're not going, because their idea is this American model, guaranteed revenue, all that. So in other words, where 25% of your revenue is, which roughly is about what you get for being in the Champions League, is about 25% extra bonus is coming from that. So in other words, it's unbelievable to them that's so volatile. So it leads to a scenario where they actually feel, no, we need some way to guarantee this money. And let's be honest about it, it's very, very, very bad. I can see why those people are protesting this evening. This thing has been undermined. People have invested their lives in it. Look, I'm the old, as I tell, the son of a North London bus driver. That's what I was. Martin Keown, I'm not hogging this now, man. I'm going to stop you. Alex, you can stop me anytime you want. But there's a thing about this is that Martin Keown, right? Martin Keown, he was part of that double winning team. He was a brilliant player, represented England at big tournaments, was captain, I think, on occasion of England. Martin Keown is the son of two Irish parents. He's a North Londoner. He's from Oxford. But there's a famous quote, and actually I got the quote. I did a bit of research this time, Alex. No, come on. But he said he was asked that when he came to join the club. He said, "Well, I think my mum and dad wanted me to come here because it was an Irish club. It had that look about it. There was Sammy Nelson, Pat Rice, Jennings, O'Leary, Brady, Stapleton, so many Irish. But you see, that means that all those people, all those families, he's from Galway, only up the road here from myself, they all are big Arsenal supporters. So in other words, there's an international fan base here. Arsenal are across the world. And they believed, whether it's right or wrong, they believe that Arsenal versus Man United, if you're to believe Gary Neville, that could generate, if you got €1 from about 50% of their fan base, that could generate £100 million for one match. And that's where the money is all, Jonathan said a minute ago, it's all about the money. And they thought, we're going to put in this protectionist policy, we're going to stop any sort of any possibility of us not being involved in it. And next thing, now, the biggest, funniest thing I saw during the week was that the PR company, this is the biggest game in the world, the biggest sport in the world. Now, I know UEFA and FIFA, there's big question marks over there, administration, but this is the biggest game in the world. And 12 clubs decided last Sunday morning that we were going to take ownership of this, that they were going to close it after everyone else. And that, I mean, how they even thought this was going to work was beyond belief. Now, sorry, Alex, I kind of I didn't mean to hog it there for a while, but Joe, that was my belief. It was the most failed idea I ever come up with. And it just proves that greed has no limits. That's the one thing. Greed has no limits.
Tim, very quickly before I go to Glenwyn, I know there was a statement which came out this week from the European Super League representatives.
Yeah.
And they have said that they feel like they've not broken any European regulations. They're going to come back and repackage the European Super League in a different format. It's not over yet, is it?
It's probably not over. But the one thing that they have done is they have strengthened UEFA. UEFA have got their proposal through, and there's meritocracy there. Now, I don't like the new Champions League format 2045, but at least there's some meritocracy in it. So there's going to be the places now, as someone said, if Liverpool, if it wins on this year's season and Liverpool finish 7th, they'd be kind of shoved in. There's a couple of places like that in this new one, but like 1 or 2 teams being shoved into 36 is bad, but 12 teams being there forever, and that's what it was. And to be honest, people have to. And Alex, I was listening to you during the week. You brilliant programs this week. I have to say you were outstanding. There was great shows. But one day you said, "Don't be buying merchant. Do not be buying the latest Arsenal jersey. Don't be feeding the monster. Like, don't be buying into that. And one thing I would recommend that you do buy, if you like reading, whatever journalist you like reading, I would invest that you give €1 or one something to them try buying a newspaper slightly more, because these journalists, they went through this plan like a dose of salts. Like, it was just they cut them left, right, and center. They saw the failings in it. The whole, like, Stan Kroenke is now turned out, to be the most kind of materialistic person that you can imagine running a club. And that's the biggest problem, is that, like, really Liverpool and the Glaziers and in United, actually Kroenke and Glaziers, I'd say, would be the worst. Like, Henry in Liverpool, they have won their league, they've won the European Cup. Now, very, very unfavorably treated residents, I think, around Anfield to help expand the stadium. But look, ultimately, they have been slightly more positive, while Kroenke and the Glazers have only, like, pile on the debt, make it more expensive. And if you look at the actual top 10 teams in Europe in terms of debt, and Brisbane expanded out. The only one that wasn't in it was Bayern Munich, and I think, for once in my life, I have to say, the Germans saved it here, because they were the present champions. And you must remember, there was talks of getting 350 million if you competed in this league, and they only got 90 million last year for winning the Champions League. So they were like, as you've highlighted, Alex, a couple of times this week, very brilliantly done. You highlighted is that the German model is 50% plus 1. So in other words, there's no question mark. They could not take this to their supporters because they'd be laughed out of the room.
Okay,
sorry, Alex, I overstretched it.
Yeah. Glenwyn, thank you for being so very patient, given the matters. Glenwyn, your thoughts?
Yeah, no problem, right?
How did we get into the situation? European Super League, and now I just left the Emirates, and there's a massive protest before the game this evening against Everton. How did we get in this position, Keown?
Well, you posted a video that I've done for both of us, and it was about Kroenke, and the question I posed on that video was, what drives Kroenke? And besides Kroenke, what drives any businessman? Profits drives that person. So they are due to make 233 million euros each through this. I think it's either per game or per season or whatever. So that is profits that they're gonna get for being part of the Super League. And why do you wanna put your legacy of a big, like Arsenal being formed in 1880s, you want to put that legacy in jeopardy just for a quick buck? So the reason why we are there, he saw dollar signs, and that is where you're going to find it is in the Super League. And it's nothing to do with the love of the football game. And football, I mean, to what I've said in the previous video is football has got over 400 million followers. Yeah, over the world. So, and I will agree. I think it was either Tim or Jonathan that alluded to it. Is that is the biggest sport in the world. So, in England itself, Arsenal is one of the oldest clubs, if not the oldest, I'm sure. I'm not sure you guys probably know more about what club is older than Arsenal, but in 1886, none of us would even thought of becoming an Arsenal supporter. So that legacy you want to give up because you want to make more money. So that is the reason why Arsenal sit in this position. And to tell you the truth, there's so many inconsistencies in the explanation of a little Kroenke, you know, saying they made a decision based on what the fans want. How do you know what the fans want if you want money? The fans want to support their team, and the fans want to stay in love with the team because they want to back the team in any situation. But in this situation, I'm so glad that all the fans, whether it's from United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs, whatever fan was involved in this whole situation, they all came together and said the same thing, and that is unity. And where there's unity, there will be a blessing, brother. So yeah, I think the Kroenkes really wanted just to make a bit of a quick buck through the Super League. And you on earlier on, they say they didn't break any rules. The Premier League, I'm not sure if they have changed it, but the Premier League has got a rule on their books. This is L9. It says here, all 20 clubs had to sign up in the Premier League because of this rule. Clubs must obtain prior written approval of the board if they wish to enter to any other league than the Champions League, Europa League, FA Cup, FA Community Shield, Carabao Cup, or any sanctioned by the country association. So, and that means that any player whose club agrees to join an unsanctioned competition, and in my opinion, the Super League was not sanctioned by the Premier League. So if a club or player joins an unsanctioned competition, risk for not playing in the UEFA, as they said that they won't play in the UEFA or the FIFA or even the World Cup. So how can they say they didn't break any rules? So the 6 clubs of England, they should know why they obviously agreed to signing up for the Premier League. So again, there's so much inconsistencies in the reason why they did it. How they came about to the excuses they did, it's beyond me, because Josh is also the same as his dad, because he saw dollar bills as he grew up, because he grew up in obvious reasons. His dad married into a very wealthy family. His wife's family obviously were part of the Walmart family, I think. So he grew up with dollar bills. And Vina is also saying they're doing things for fans. And if you had the fans at heart, you, like you said, is it you or somebody said, you said it this morning, if you had the fans at heart, you would have spoken to me first and told me this is what I want to do. So don't tell me that you have done the fans, because the fans is so against it. So why would you do something for the fans if the fans is against it? So I think it's not over yet, Alex. And I've been saying it for the longest time. It's not over, and they get away with it. To do things for money it's not going to end well, because your desire for why you're doing it, or the real reason why you're doing it, is not honorable, because you're putting everything down, or everybody down, because you want to gain, and that's never a good thing.
Alex, matters. I have maybe something. I think I think there is a technician law point matter that avoid this because as we can see, yes, they can break a rule of the Premier League, but maybe they didn't enter to the competition. They didn't create it. They didn't. So maybe the Arsenal lawyer know that. That's the reason why maybe there are no rules that have been broken. So they can say that in the techniques of the law. Maybe that is something that.
Well, just being on a slightly more humorous note, it obviously was a proper league because one of the managers got sacked.
Uh, uh,
But Jonathan, if you read the statement from Josh Kroenke, he does say in there that they were under immense pressure to make a decision very, very quickly. That's what he said in the statement there. But
yeah.
I'm thinking, if you are a leader in whatever enterprise or company, surely you've got to speak to your workforce, the people who work for you. You've got to speak to them. Otherwise, you'll get to this point where,
Yeah.
in actual fact, they've realised they've made a big mistake, and
Yeah.
it is not over. Believe me.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
like
Hope
Tim
you. No.
and said, it's all about the money. They're not about to let this go and thinking, oh, you know what? Yeah, the Chelsea fans have protested, the Arsenal fans. Oh, they're not going to let go. They will keep going. Trying to configure the package in whatever form because it's all about the money.
Right.
Yes.
All about the
Look.
money.
What I think. What I think. This kind of decisions are not taken so easily and so fast in this business. You never take a decision on this high level so fast without thinking, without consult with the lawyers. So I think they are saying, we take the decision so fast, but it's an speech. I think they found what they want, and yes, the Super League matter is not dead for sure. It's not dead. They will look another way. For me, it's not so bad if you think, because there is a monopoly in the football. There
Yeah.
is a monopoly. No monopoly is good in no place, because it's a lot of power concentrated in the same. But you cannot change from a bad monopoly to a really bad monopoly.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to do an
But
oligopoly better. So I think they thought so good this decision and the speech after of the decision. I think it's not so, oh no, sorry, we didn't think you are everything in our world,
Yeah.
dear fans. No,
Yeah.
this
yeah.
is business, and this decision in high level are not taken so fast. Never.
Jonathan, a very quick question before I go to Tim. Do you think we can get Kroenke out by fan power, by us protesting and saying
I
Kroenke out?
hope so. I hope so, but no, I don't think so. At least this is a man from Nigeria that
But back,
wants to buy
But
the, or he says that, but I don't think so. It's so easy, but I hope so. But no, I don't think so. It's not. How many money is Arsenal? 2.9 billions.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
in a pandemia, in a economical crisis, entering an economical world crisis, it's difficult. That is not how the business goes.
Okay, Tim, you
yeah.
want to say something?
Yeah, just firstly, like definitely there was the three or four clubs that were leading it, like Real Madrid. Now Arsenal, I'd say, were in that group as well. Actually, I'd say Arsenal, Real Madrid, Liverpool, United. They were the ones driving it. But a very interesting thing was the Italian clubs. They had to stay in. They're financially they're in a very bad way, and Barcelona are a bit. But like the funny thing about it is, as soon as there was a protest in Chelsea, and you must remember, Chelsea is not a traditional stronghold. Now, I know in the last 15, 20 years they have been very successful. But previous to that, they weren't a big club. Like, when Abramovich saw, oh my God, the supporters outside the door here, we need to mind these. And like, Alex, you made a brilliant point in one of the shows during the week. You were saying the ticket holders, the people, like, they're the ones he wants. He wants the ticket. He wants
Yeah,
people writing their checks, giving their direct debits, whatever, however they pay their. But they'd want to be saying now, look, what am I paying for? Like, how can I get a breakdown? I mean, really, they'd want to be making the point that they want Premier League matches. They want to see Stoke. They want to see West Ham. They want to see that's where their interest is. In other words, if you put a threatening mark over that 75%, remember he's trying to consolidate the other 25 or the European money. But if he says, my God, there's a question mark over the other 80% money or the 75, whatever number makes up. In other words, that larger portion. If he starts he starts getting emails saying, well, I'm not sure I want to renew. Well, I don't think I want to look. What are your plans going forward? I mean, I'm really into the Premier League. Can I get a pair down option? Like, I mean, I know now from we have around here we have a stadium now. It's all much smaller sport in Ireland, obviously, but like we have a professional rugby team and a semi-professional soccer team. But like they're inside and they're very like, well, you can't get the big tickets unless you take the smaller ones. But like they'd wanted the ticket holders want to be saying the big tickets for us are Spurs, are like West Ham, like Liverpool United. That the big ticket does not involve going to play Atletico Madrid. It does not involve going over to play Inter Milan. That these clubs and I mean that's the reason. You see, Chelsea and Man City are financially independent. So in other words, they could say, no, we're out. We don't like this idea. There's fans protesting at the door. Like someone described it as like the Arab Spring. I mean, there was a revolution going on. We are distancing ourselves from this straight away. So next thing, the English clubs, but like Barcelona, even yesterday or today, I think we're still kind of, oh yeah, this thing is a runner. Like, but they are in a financial, in an awful predicament. They have, and the biggest problem they have is most of it is wage bills, and like they have the likes of Coutinho and these people who they haven't even fully paid for yet. So in other words, they need money, and like as Jonathan said, it's a pandemic now. But actually, funny enough, is that Kroenke now this evening. I mean, the pictures I saw, Alex, there could be 5,000 people there outside Arsenal this evening, right? He's looking at that. He said, "How many of them are season ticket holders?" I mean, they had the thing. Was Manoff, the Rush or the oligarch would say, "No, it's Uzbekistan or wherever he was." You remember back there about 10 years ago? Yeah, but they had him a couple of years. But like, I'd say it was different. Kroenke was different that time because Kroenke, I think. Like, really, this was the best thing ever to stop because Kroenke was not above saying, Arsenal, well, let's head for Beijing. His idea was he had a functioning model. If he could get into this on streaming of matches, he didn't mind where they were. He didn't mind where the supporters were or where the team was based. But now this evening, he's in trouble because, like, I mean, I don't see Gary Neville or Boris Johnson as being the saviors of football. But this week, they showed their teeth, like, particularly Boris Johnson. Like we have that model. If you put in the legislation and you say like that we're going to reserve that these matches between some of these teams, they can't take place because they're enshrined in law. That immediately makes them a lot less valuable. So like JP Morgan, we got out the door with their $4 billion.
Glenwyn, do we not generate a lot of our income from sponsorship deals, TV broadcasting? That we get a lot of income from ticket sales and season tickets, but do we not make a large portion of our income and revenue from TV broadcasting and sponsorships?
I'm sure there is some amount of revenue and income on that platform, but is that good enough for me as Stan Kroenke? I don't think so, because if the Super League can generate 3.5 billion euros and each team of that 15 teams get 233, so what is he saying in terms of the revenue that he's getting from the broadcasting and obviously the ticket sales and the merchandise? Yes, you do get some substantial amount from it. I don't know the figures, but surely it must have been said that it's not enough for me, because exactly like Jonathan said, they lost a lot of money. I think it's in the region of 48 million for the last financial year. So to set off all those things, that money that they get from the Super League, that money they have to set off to whatever losses they have in the pandemic. So the club has lost a lot of money. He's trying to, and I mean, from the beginning, since 2007, that he's in Arsenal, he didn't spend a lot of his own money. He didn't spend a cent of his own money. So that revenue he gets from the ticket sales and that sort of thing is not enough, in my opinion.
Self-sustaining model, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dear me. All right. Because we've got a match, because we're back in Premier League action.
Yeah, very good.
Jonathan, against Everton in about 20 minutes time. What do you think is going to happen?
Okay. It's James and Jerry Mina. Ooh. No. It's Everton.
Tim, help me, Tim.
We have to broke them. We have to finish that. For the people who doesn't know, Nketiah is starting. I will prefer Martinelli. I understand he's training as a 9. But I understand Nketiah needs opportunity and trustability is one of us, and I understand that kind of things. But I think I prefer Balogun or Martinelli in that position, because we need to focus on the best players. And I don't know what do you think of Nketiah, but I think it's not enough for Arsenal. He's a good guy. I love him. He's one of us, but it's not enough. It's not good enough. Pepe, Smith Rowe, Saka. I think Pepe is the key player for this match. I think we have been paying in quotes, and we have been receiving also the good player in quotes. So I think I think we are winning. But also that I think we are winning. Alex, that is not good. But I think we are winning. I think we are winning. And I think we need to put some good player against Calvert-Lewin, and maybe offering a contract for Arsenal also.
Jonathan, very quickly, what is it? What is the 11? What's the starting 11? Do you have it? Do you have the 11 there?
Yes. Leno, Chambers, Holding, Mari, Xhaka. So Xhaka as left. How he has been doing good. But it's not enough. I prefer Suarez, but I don't know. Arteta always gives surprises. Ceballos, Partey, Saka. Ceballos, Partey, Smith Rowe, Saka, Pepe, Nketiah.
Okay, all right. Tim, your thoughts very quickly.
Well, firstly, I'm glad to hear the team, and actually now I'm delighted to see Holding and Mari. I think Holding. To be honest, I was shocked around Christmas that Holding wasn't in. I actually went up and I saw that Arsene Wenger said one thing about Holding is that he had two really big disadvantages. Firstly, he didn't cost 55 million, and secondly, he was English. So in other words, there was never the same drama around Holding as there was maybe around David Luiz or Gabriel or Mari. In other words, he's a very, very solid defender, and I'm glad to see that Gabriel Gabriel plays better with David Luiz, but there's question marks over his long-term sustainability. But I'm glad to see how I'll be very interested now to see tonight how Mari and Holding will get on in the central defence. And Chambers, if Chambers has another good match tonight, and Xhaka, I think I know Villarreal is kind of, everyone's talking about that match, but this is the preparation. Arsenal need a bit of momentum. The Fulham game was a slight bit of a disaster. There was the 97th minute. Actually, funny enough, with all the controversy during the week with the Super League and everything, because when you look at that goal, that 97th minute goal, my old friend Holding looked very, very close to being offside. So I was kind of glad in one sense that it took the spotlight away from him. But no, and and another player there, I see Partey and Ceballos are playing. Ceballos is playing very well. We were talking the other night about Iwobi, the player that went to Everton, and he is infuriating. Very good some days, but far too many bad matches, and it was just really kind of a case of you were waiting too far. But Ceballos was a bit like that, and he's definitely improved. Ceballos had a very good last 6 or 8 weeks. I think that we really have to kind of this team now tonight. If they get a win, 2-1, something like that, and I know El Tel is a big question mark over Leno. I think if Leno got a good centre, two so good centre halves in front of him, that he would improve a bit as well. You know, I think some of it sometimes, if you're looking out there and the two boys in front of you aren't inspiring you with confidence, that reflects back on you as the goalie. I mean, I have a great belief. I'm delighted now to see Holding and Mary picked tonight, and they'll be picked again Thursday night, and put Chambers in. Now, I don't know what the story is with Tierney. If you go with Xhaka, if you go with him. Actually, the funny thing about Xhaka is that since he's gone back in left back, he has actually kind of, how would I say,
I still want him go. I still want him gone. I still want him gone. I'm sorry. He's played wonderful at left back, but he's only a temporary solution for, until Tierney comes back. And when Tierney comes back, where's he going to be? In the midfield, where he makes all those terrible decisions. I still want him gone. I'm sorry, Tim.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. You're probably right. And another thing, actually, is that if Arsenal, like, you have to look now with the transfer market, right? If they could have settled on Holding and Mary, maybe Gabriel, if they, like, Partey is looking like he kind of is not, he needs someone with him, and Xhaka is not that someone. You know what I mean? I'm not putting Xhaka down too far. He's there all right. And Bellerin suffers a bit from that as well. It's not that I've anything against him, but maybe their day has come. You know what I mean? They've been there a while, that they've just probably gone over the top of the hill, that the performances, and like the one thing about the Premier League, be it 1989 or be it 2021, is that it's still physical, it's still aggressive, like, and you have to have the athleticism, no matter how cultured your left foot or right foot is. If you're not getting around the field, you're in trouble.
Tim, prediction.
Oh, 2-1. I'm going 2-1. Arsenal to win.
2-1. Okay. Glenn win.
Just one thing, Glenn. Look, here the news, the match is very important here in Colombia, but because James, everything is about Everton in this moment. Everything is about Everton, James, Jeremina. That's sad. We need another Colombian in the team.
Glenn win. Your thoughts, Everton?
Yeah, I think I'm going to sit on the bench for this one. It's going to be a draw. We've got the best four in our defense at this stage.
Yeah,
Chambers, Holding, Murray, and of course Xhaka. And Xhaka, I mean, he's been your man of the match, Alex, in I think 2 occasions. He's been your man of the match in the Sheffield game and also in the Sprague game. And I think his decision making in that left backs is been doing very well, making a good decision at all times. There was times that nobody could come past him, and I think being a left back is more solid there than he is in the midfield, because he tends to make silly mistakes when he's next to either Partey or next to El Nene. So I think he is solid there. Coming up front to the middle, I would still the Partey and the Ceballos partnership. I think until we land somebody like Basuma, I think then Ceballos is at this point the best partner for him. I probably would have put in Martinelli instead of Pepe, because or put Pepe up front and put Martinelli on the left, and right Saka and keep Nketiah on the bench, because I don't see Balogun in the team. So in my opinion, I probably would have put in Martinelli instead of Pepe for this team. Then of course Smith Rowe, tried and tested. He's my hero. I've been saying it.
I know.
He is my hero. He is my hero. For a youngster, for that type of intelligence, he's just perfection, and he will do something against the likes of Sigurdsson and Gomez. And I think Tim, you alluded to it, or not you, it was Jonathan, Calvert-Lewin. The man who's going to keep Calvert-Lewin will be Pablo Mare, because I think Mare has got a stronger opportunity to fight him than Holding. So Mare is going to be the one who's going to keep the Calvert-Lewin more intact. But again, Jonathan, you're right. The Colombians probably looking at Evan because of James, and James is going to have the free role. He's going to be up and down, left to right, front to back, but he's going to just sit there and confuse Mare because the link between him and Calvert-Lewin, they're going to confuse the centre backs. That is what they want to do, because I mean their target man is going to be held back by Pablo Mare, and for James to have all that sort of skill and that intelligence, he's going to confuse those two, which is going to have to force what's his face, Xhaka to come out of his left back. So my Boyki will score tonight. Alex say Boyki.
Bro.
Yeah, now Smith though is going to be the one to. He's going to be the one to make a hell of a difference then.
Okay.
And it's a 1-1 draw, in my opinion.
A draw. Okay.
Draw.
Okay. Jonathan, very quickly.
Difficult match for Mari, right? Right? With what you say, Gunnar, it's difficult match for Mari, right?
That's what he's saying. Yeah.
It's a difficult match for him, yeah, definitely. But he's gonna get on top. He's gonna come up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen, I have to call this one to an end because we've got like less than 10 minutes before kickoff. So I do apologize to everyone who kind of tuned in. I saw the numbers just bubbling over 30 views at any one time. But and those in the live chat, I don't have any time to go in the live chat. I do really apologize. It's been a busy day. I went to the Emirates. I did say I was going to the Emirates. I did say I couldn't interact, but the numbers have just gone through to the stratosphere. Before I end this one, I want to say a big thank you to Jonathan. Jonathan, thank you for coming on Easy Talk again. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation. As always, it's a pleasure. I love to speak about this, my passion. So, come on, you Gunners.
Tim, as always, Tim. What a faithful Tim. Thank you.
Alex, thanks for the invite. Enjoy the match, lads. Enjoy the match.
Yeah. Glenwyn, thank you, Glenwyn. Making your debut on the Easy Talk. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for it's an honor, Alex. I invited a whole lot of South Africans, and I wanted to shout out to them if they are watching. South Africa, we're gonna have a hell of a time on my podcast, and subscribe to Guna Matters. Your opinion, it is mattering. It matters. Thank you.
Fantastic. So that is it. If you've kind of tuned in for the first time on this community, not so much a podcast, make sure you subscribe, please. Be part of the community. Very quickly, Tim, you're not on social media, are you, Tim? You're not.
Well, I am, but it's not very active. I'll give you. It's @TIHON, I think, in Twitter. Where can I find it?
Okay.
Yeah, I might send it on to you there later, because I tell you, I'm getting a lot more use this week. I'm being a lot more active this week. So I'll send it on to you there later on, because I don't tweet too much, but I've watched some amount of Arsenal opinion pieces this week on it.
Brilliant. And Jonathan, very quickly, where can people find you on social media? Very quickly.
Colombia Gunner is our social media, and mine is Jonathan Liam, as my name is here.
Okay. And I'll try and leave the links to all the social media contacts there. And of course, make sure you go over and subscribe to Guna Matters, because, yeah, your opinion matters. I might use that now, Damon. I'm going to use that. It's all mine. All right, guys, just enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for tuning in on this particular Easy Talk. Just take it easy. Again, I don't want to give my prediction. Sorry, John.
Alex, show the. Yeah.
The banner.
We are not playing soccer. We are playing football.
Yeah. I think it's time to say goodbye.
What?
All right, guys. So that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Make sure you
Alex,
subscribe.
Thanks a minute.
And take care. Until next.